I just finished doing a consultation with a company where I'm hired sometimes to help them deal with some of their leadership issues, deal with some of their internal issues, maybe some traumatic issues of things that have gone on within the company or something they've witnessed. But I do that through this lens of a couple of things. One is what I always speak about on here, rational motive behavior therapy, which is one of the two modalities that completely changed my life in the way that I think. It was created from Stoic Philosophy by Dr. Albert Ellis, and has stood a test of time about helps people in my office every day. The other one is some leadership things that I learned from a great opportunity I had to attend the Arbinger Institute out in Salt Lake City, just north of Salt Lake City, Utah. In my opinion, probably the leaders in organizational leadership. I learned a lot from them. So I'm doing a consultation with a company that helps injured officers. Very noble thing, very important thing. They do an amazing job, have a great track record of helping injured officers. And the problem that they're having is not how they're helping people. The problem they're having is this consistent gossiping and bickering and backstabbing and negative comments that are made between the staff members, both volunteer and paid. And one of the ways I have to help them look at that and to get away from that and understand why that can be so toxic, and we all know that toxicity is what will kill a program. It'll be so toxic is some of the things from rational motive behavior therapy that we understand are ego anxiety and discomfort anxiety. In fact, most of the problems emotionally that you can deal with will fit into these categories. I know the sun's, if you're watching, the sun's messing me up, but some of you are just listening anyway, which is awesome. So ego anxiety is this anxiety that I can't handle not doing perfectly, and if I don't do perfectly and other people see that I'm doing perfectly, then I'm a worthless piece of trash. Those may not be Albert Ellis's words, but it's the Dr. Trevor version. Discomfort anxiety is anxiety about the fact that I can't handle being in discomfort, that will send me to the greatest reaches of anxiety. And these can be summed up well with the idea of we call the three demands or the three musts of REBT. I would say all, some would say most, of your emotional dysregulation will fit into these three categories. Demands that you make about yourself, other people, in the world. I must do perfect and other people must see it or I'm a piece of trash. You must treat me with the respect that I deserve or you're a piece of trash. And the world must be easy and carefree and give me what I deserve when I deserve it or it's a piece of trash. Now, I think any normal person would like to do perfect, wants to be treated with respect, and wants to get what they deserve. But that's not what I said. Your demand that you do perfect or you're trash, your demand that people must treat you with respect or they're trash, which is how you vilify people you don't even know, vilify people that you love and care about, and your demand that it must be easy and carefree and you get what you deserve or the world's trash. Now, maybe you've been through some things in your life that feel like they fit in there, and maybe you think you've proven that your trash, lack of disrespect, is other people's trash, and not getting what you deserve means the world is trash. So the problem is your demand. Can you demand that you do perfect? Can you demand that other people respect you? Can you demand that you get what you deserve? I almost want to laugh in the face of that now. To think that I ever thought that I could demand those things is ridiculous. We tell our kids they can't be perfect, and even if they mess up, they're not trash. And that we know we can't demand respect from other people. And even if they're disrespectful, while I treat them like trash because I've decided that they are, can you really articulate that they're trash? If the first one's not correct, how's the second one correct? If you or your kid or your family member is not trash for not doing perfect, how can the second one be correct? Now, my nickname is the Angry Viking Therapist, not the moderately upset sometimes, disenfranchised, a little bit sad, but mostly rainbows and unicorns happy Viking Therapist. I understand the anger one because I spent so many years angry at everything and everyone. Why? Because I demanded respect. Why? Because it goes back to number one. It goes back to I must do perfect. Finally, I must get what I deserve. Good luck. If you've been on the planet for 5 minutes, you should have part of that one figured out. So this company's dealing with a lot of internal conflict, dealing with a lot of backstabbing, a lot of toxicity, negatively talking among the professionals and the people that work with them. And while what I'm going to say does not make any of that okay, and when you do some leadership things from those ideas like the Arbinger Leadership or Arbinger Institute Leadership Program gave me, where do they come from? I think it's important to know. If one of the members of this group, this company, is going around lambashing everybody, depends on who's standing in the room or really not standing in the room, who are they going to trash today? Because let's be honest, if you're trashing one person, the likelihood that you're trashing the whole community but doing it to each other, it's pretty high. I'll talk about that in a second with the leadership. But why does that individual do that? Why? Ego anxiety. They're threatened. They're threatened. They might hear a little piece of something that makes somebody think they're coming for their job. Or somebody think that the other person thinks they're better than them. What does that really come down to? It comes down to that individual, ego anxiety, the not good enoughs, and if I'm not good enough, I'm a piece of trash. Probably long withstanding feelings that they're not good enough. Probably long withstanding self-deprecating talk that they're not good enough. Now that doesn't let anybody off the hook. But when you start to see it in that framework, it's really easy to be frustrated and upset with that person. But it makes it a lot harder to be enraged at that person. Because once you get to enrage, which was an unhealthy negative emotion, you're just going to make emotional decisions. You're going to quit, you're going to leave, you're going to speak out, you're going to act like an idiot in front of everybody else, you do something you regret. And I'm not saying that there's not ways that you need to professionally confront people. Oh, I confront a lot of people. I just have to do it now in a non-road rage manner. I have to do it now in a manner that is not me trying to recruit other people to my side. That's a Arbinger Institute idea. I want to give them credit for it. I'm not one of their instructors, but I've definitely learned a lot from their books and that program. And one of the things that you do when you're upset is you start recruiting other people to your side. How many times have you stood around the proverbial water cooler, if that's even still a real thing, or started a group text to everybody about that person, or started saying, man, I can't believe that they act that way. Can you believe that? They're such a bad person. They're trying to turn you to their side. It's recruiting. Why do you feel the need to go around bashing other people behind their back, looking like an unprofessional moron, because that's what everybody's going to think of you, you gossiping moron. They're not going to trust you. They know you're talking crap about everybody else. Why wouldn't they talk crap about you? It's your ego anxiety. I can't handle not doing perfect, because if I don't do perfect and other people don't recognize it, I'm a piece of trash. That doesn't mean don't do your best. That doesn't mean don't strive for perfection. I'm constantly learning every day. Some of these talks is me getting ideas through my head, and I just want to share them with you. Some of them, I don't know, maybe jumbled and never make sense, and you checked out 10 minutes ago. But your ego anxiety is going to cost you. Your demand that you must do perfect and everybody must see it or you're trash is going to cost you. When did that start for you? I don't know. Childhood, maybe. Adulthood. Yesterday, failing for the first time. Feeling like a failure, deciding you're a failure. The reason you act greater than everybody else is because you know that you're lesser than. You're lesser than the character and the person that you should be. Or you've at least determined yourself that these people are greater than, so you must act greater than. It's one of the most disgustingly toxic traits of any kind of leader, supervisor, employee, consultee, person that I have either in my office, consultations, online, education about rational therapy. It's one of the most toxic traits you can have. So we had to do some things in order to stop this individual or series of individuals from completely trashing what people think about them because they act professional to your face and they talk such shit behind you. Don't think that stuff doesn't get out. Don't think that that stuff doesn't completely tarnish your reputation. And everybody knows it's because you're a scared little baby. And everybody knows it's because your ego anxiety. And you're demanding to do perfect. But because you're not perfect, or somebody might be doing better, that you're trash, you're destroying yourself. You're overreacting with emotion. You're recruiting other people to your side. And you look like an unprofessional buffoon.